Hi, you're watching Time Warner Cable's Local Edition. This is the Sacramento Report. I'm Jaime Garza, and with me today is Allan Zaremberg. He is the President and CEO of the California Chamber of Commerce. Nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me, Jaime. I appreciate it.
We've been talking about taxes, special sessions, things like that. The lawmakers here in California really have a lot on their plate right now. Whether you have a crystal ball or not, what are you hearing? Give us some insight from your membership as to what kinds of things do you think the legislature will help businesses, and where do you think it might hurt?
Well, the first thing that will help business, and especially when we talk about taxes and revenue, is certainty. You know, when you're looking, where do I invest in California or do I invest in Texas? You know, where can I get a return on my investment? And when this issue of taxes is always hanging over your head, you have this uncertainty of whether or not I can get an adequate rate of return on my investment. Where do I put my jobs? And so I think when we look at this issue, we need to create that certainty for California employers. But there's no question in this very, very difficult economic times when we're trying to climb out of a recession and unemployment is so high in California. Most employees, most voters, and most businesses are very concerned about taxes. So that doesn't necessarily mean that we should say, oh, no to every revenue source, no to every tax, because we have to fund some necessary programs. We have to fund higher education, we have to fund courts, we have to fund public safety and K-12. I mean, we need an educated workforce, and we need to invest in that in the future. So how do you look at that? How do you say what's fair, what's reasonable? Well, first of all, if you're going to do revenues or you're going to enhance any taxes, they shouldn't have to be permanent, because you want to get the economy turned around, and that's the real solution in the end. And so you don't want them to disproportionately affect one individual, one business. You don't want them to raise somebody's gasoline taxes. You don't want them to disproportionately, affect an industry, because that hurts their employment. So you want to be fair about it. But I think most importantly, we need a comprehensive solution if we're going to look at that. And what does that mean? I think that means that we have to look at things that are driving the government to the brink of bankruptcy. So do we not have any controls on spending? So I think what scares voters most, so if I voted for more revenues, if I authorize more revenues, am I just giving the legislature another blank check? Or do I know it's going to go into education? Do I know it's going to go into public safety and courts? Things that are important to our economy and important to the average citizen. Are they going to go into transportation? Things they care about, that it's going to move things forward.
Do you really think, though, that you can get the voters of California to back any taxes right now when you have so many people still looking for work, a lot of people counting every penny to put food on the table, and say, yeah, it's a great deal if we get this tax for better roads, we get this tax for better education. The premise is great, but when you look at your pocketbook, is it really going to sell?
Well, I think you're absolutely right. It's very difficult. And one of the things that's, I think, really a problem with our national economy, as well as here in California, ever since this discussion or debacle or debate over the deficit ceiling, the debt ceiling, people have lost their confidence in government. So when you're asking people to say, spend a few more pennies to fund necessary programs, those people need to be convinced that there's some confidence in government. They're not going to waste their money. And I don't think that exists today. So I think that's one of the things that we all have to work on, first of all, restore that confidence. And some of that may come with constraints on spending. What is driving up spending in California that doesn't agree with what the people have to do? I saw research on stimulus and how, and only 17% of the people thought they got something out of the president's stimulus package. You can't have confidence with that.
That's a very low number.
Yes.
Allan Zaremberg, thank you very much for your insight, and good luck in your effort to help the businesses of California through your agency, the California Chamber of Commerce, and thank you for watching Time Warner Cable's Local Edition, the Sacramento Report. Remember, you can watch this interview as well as others by simply going to My Government On Demand, and you'll find that on Channel 1.